From January 1st, 2022, all employees in Singapore will have to be fully vaccinated in order to return to their workplace.
The last 2 years have been a pretty challenging experience for every company as well as individuals, right? It kind of caught everybody by surprise. So many companies have responded, just like Sembcorp. We have also reacted very quickly, learning along the way on how we adjust. I must say, in the last 2 years or so, we have learned from others. We have taken guidance from the government's policies that they issued, and we have adjusted our own measures accordingly. 2 years have been a long time. All right. Many new employees who have joined during these periods have not had a chance to interact with their colleagues other than over Zoom or over Teams, etc. Right. We think it's about time to slowly bring people back if the situation allows. But to allow people to come back, we need to make sure all the safety measures are in place. All right. So today we do have put in place a pretty regimental way of making sure people asked to come back, and there's a way we track it. We also make sure people take their ART test before they come in, according to the government guidelines, and we insist people wear masks throughout the time they're in the office unless they're having a meals. What we have done quite well in the last couple of months is we've basically put an application in place using the teams to help us track all our employee status. Okay, so at Sembcorp, we have about 3,000 over employees in Singapore. Our businesses is all in the sustainable business. So we have people working in the power plant, water facilities. We have also a large pool of employees doing public cleaning, rubbish collections throughout the island. They provide an essential service to keep the economy going. All right. Now, so there are two groups: the frontline staff, which I just mentioned, and then we have also a number of folks in the office. All right. Now, the folks in the office, with regards to those measures that we have talked about, many of them have emails and put on our Teams apps with regards to how they use it. They can come onto the system very quickly. However, many of frontline employees, because they have no email access, we have not been able to put them on the same app that we're using. So, but nevertheless, they go through a pretty manual process in the way they record their temperature previously, report their status and all that. So that is still quite manually done, although we're gradually trying to push out our applications out to them as well. So today, while the frontline folks doesn't have access to it, their supervisors, the office admin folks, help them record it and rekey in the data. So it's a double-step process in that way. This is an example of a Microsoft Teams app, right? Our software guys did all this within 2 days when we wanted to implement it, because there was no way we could do manual tracking. Right, so this happened about maybe close to a year ago, right? We basically wanted to know who is in the office, so people need to submit notification, and people who need to come back to the office during those periods, we also want them to apply a return to office. Right. Today, we also ask people to submit their vaccination status, whether it's the first shot, second shot, including the booster shot. So we have a status of all our people who are vaccinated or not. Right, and then for ART results during this period, we need people to make sure they submit their ART test, and it's valid for 7 days, and we know who exactly who can come in during that week if we need to. Right. Now, we have also added another one, which is about overseas declaration. Anybody needs to travel outside, whether it's for personal or business trip. Now, so all this is right now in one app. Our safety guys keep track of the record real time, and we know exactly who is where, who is in the office at all time. So our group digital team had 2 of these software guys who are very familiar with Microsoft Teams. And when we came about knowing that, hey, because all our folks are largely, the database is already on the Microsoft email system. So we said, hey, why don't we latch onto that data? And then they came up with very simple applications. All right. And then over the last couple of months, we added in all the other features. We have over 1,000 colleagues right now that plow across the whole island collecting rubbish, or they are in the streets or in the parks cleaning. Right, they are exposed to the public all the time. Right, today they work in teams, or they could be acting in solo positions in certain areas they're responsible for. Now, it's important we keep track of their status. Right, so today they don't have the access to the app, so we are partnering with Microsoft to make this available to them. The same app that our office colleague can use, they can use as well, and they can report their status. Now, we believe some of these employees are older, they may need a bit of training, but the app is so easy that they can just take a photo, press a button here or there, and we have the data. The idea here is we want to push it out to all our employees to make them safe. Now, we also have people in the power plants. These people are operators. Often they work in teams as well. So today, we also want to make sure that they have access to these resources as well. I think we chanced upon this is one day when I was standing at the security counter, looking at our staff processing and getting into the office. It was very manual. It was using spreadsheets and they're trying to track. And this is where I say that in our everyday life, we already use apps in everything we do, right? Take, for example, the Trace Together app. We already carry it wherever we go to on the mall or go into a building. So I said, guys, we need to make sure that we have something on a mobile platform that our people can use easily. So I then approached my chief digital officer, and this is where we discussed where's all the employee database. It's all seated in our Microsoft email systems, right? So I said, can you build something on it? And that's where he said, hey, Teams can do it because we already have quite a lot of things that he's planning to build on Teams, the apps, right? So we have already put our expense claims there, leave application there, our e-business cards is all there. So I said, why don't we build that on it? So he said, yeah, sure. And within 2 days, his team came up with something, a prototype, and it was excellent. And we started using it and we started pushing it out, right? And then along the way, we added more features like ART testing, vaccination status. So today, like I said, if you ask me how many employees have not been vaccinated, I could actually tell you. And I also can actually tell you why they are not vaccinated if they have a health reason. Right now, all of it is because we have one source of truth, and every employee uses it.
COVID-19 has been transforming the workplace. When we go to our buildings today, at each of the buildings, as you can see, they're working at bare minimum capacity simply because of the constraints that we have. But as we look forward to returning to work in the new year in a hybrid world, uh, obviously, what we want to do is ensure that we prioritize the safety of our employees, customers, vendors, and the community who will be working with us as we make this return to offices and so on. Vaccination is a key part of the way we are fighting the battle against COVID in Singapore, and the ability to record vaccination in a compliant fashion, manage circumstance-based test statutes depending on specific conditions. You need to have a ART test once every 7 days and so on, and being able to track all of those with access control is going to be a key part of employee health and safety, as well as ensuring that we are able to reopen safely. And then in case something does go wrong, you need to be able to manage, track and record those as individual cases, track through with manual contact tracing, and so on and so forth. So what we want to be able to do is provide you a solution which allows you to address these challenges while keeping in mind the fact that you have very unique business processes for vaccine and test. You might have guidelines. We obviously have guidelines from the Singapore Authority. You might have your own corporate guidelines and so on. Our return to work solution provides a solution that addresses all of them through collaboration using Microsoft Teams, using low code or no code technology to enable quick configuration, have agility, and to be able to respond to the changing situation fairly dynamically. It covers the entire gamut from crisis communication, periodic testing, recording of that testing, vaccination attestation, and daily health attestation, which means when an employee comes in, they actually have to attest that they are, they are feeling well and so on. Self certification, subject to review, access control, and so on. You want to be able to look at analytics in terms of how people are coming in. Are they coming in a safe fashion? Have we had any untoward occurrences, and so on? And all of this built on a completely secure platform. And as you can see in the solution, you have this ability to attest tests. So you can put in the dates, you can upload the test document, you can submit a digital document and complete that entire document, and the employee can then submit it, based on which they can go ahead and review the pass, and it goes forward through a workflow approval to somebody else who can then actually go ahead and approve it. So we have similar processes for vaccination, for testing, allowing authorized persons to approve, and so on, and then managing that entire communication and collaboration. You can learn more about our solution by visiting the Return to Workplace links. Most importantly, you can reach out to us via our partners who are more than ready to help you, or you can reach out to Microsoft directly at the email address that's provided below. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today, and we hope to engage with you to help you in returning to the workplace in a safe fashion. Thank you.